Tonight, the Ukrainian city of Dnipro is reeling from a deadly Russian strike on a medical complex that's killed 2 people and injured dozens. CNN senior international correspondent Fred Pleitgen is in Kyiv for us right now. Fred, Ukraine says this was a deliberate Russian attack once again on Ukrainian civilians. What more are you learning about this latest strike?
Hi there, Wolf. Well, they're saying it's a deliberate attack using missiles that are normally used to shoot down aircraft. They're called the S-300 or S-400 missiles. And if you use those in a ground-to-ground configuration, the Ukrainians say they're extremely inaccurate and they can cause massive carnage if they're shot at urban areas. That's exactly what happened today in the town of Dnipro. Here's what we're learning.
The horrifying aftermath of another Russian airstrike. A medical facility hit in Dnipro, killing 2 and wounding scores, as Moscow launched another round of drone and missile strikes at targets across Ukraine. But Kyiv says this time they managed to take down all the cruise missiles and nearly all the Iranian-supplied Shahed drones. CNN got rare access to a key component of Ukraine's air defense: the German-made Gepard anti-aircraft system known as the Shahed killer. Time is essential, radar operator Ole tells me. There may be 3 to 4 targets, and we need to destroy them one by one. The computer system makes it as easy as possible for the gunner to succeed. Ukrainian forces gave us this video they say shows a Gepard destroying several Iranian-made drones, and this one even shooting down a cruise missile late last year. Yes, contact! It's part of Ukraine's increasingly effective, mostly Western-supplied, layered short, medium, and long-range air defense, including the U.S.-made Patriots that both Washington and Kyiv say have managed to even take down the feared Russian Kinzhal hypersonic missiles that can travel 10 times the speed of sound and which Putin claimed were invincible. The commander of Ukraine's joint forces tells me systems supplied by the U.S. and its allies are making all the difference. We have the means that can fight Kinzhals and ballistic missiles, as well as cruise missiles and strike drones, he tells me, and the percentage is constantly increasing. Now, the efficiency is over 80%. And as Ukraine's army gears up for a large-scale counteroffensive, strong protection against threats from the skies will be crucial. The Ukrainians say they fully understand that effective air defense will be critical to their upcoming counteroffensive, not just to protect critical infrastructure and ammunition dumps, but to defend advancing forces as well. The enemy will throw all available forces to reduce the combat potential of our offensive, the general tells me. The success during the advance and liberation of Ukrainian territory will depend on high-quality air defense. And civilian lives on the ground depend on it as well, to prevent attacks like in Dnipro, where once again so many were harmed.
Some more news happening tonight, Wolf, from the Russian-occupied city of Mariupol. Apparently some explosions going on there. The authorities there, the Russian-installed authorities there, are saying they believe that it was Ukrainian long-distance rockets hitting targets there. Of course, we know Mariupol right now, one of the main staging points for the Russians for their war in Ukraine. And of course, we also know that some believe that shaping operations for that Ukrainian offensive might already be going on, Wolf.
Fred Pleitgen reporting from Ukraine. Stay safe, Fred. Thank you very much. Joining us now to break down these late-breaking developments out there on the front lines of Ukraine, CNN military analyst, retired U.S. Air Force Colonel Cedric Leighton, along with former U.S. Ambassador to Ukraine, William Taylor. Colonel Leighton, Russia has a proven record of attacking medical targets, but is this strike also a reaction to Ukraine's expected counteroffensive that's about to begin?
It could very well be, Wolf, and the reason I say that is they were clearly lobbing artillery toward areas where they think the Ukrainians are staging their military at, and Dnipro would be the perfect place for the Ukrainians to form up and then move into the south, particularly to go after the land bridge that the Russians have set up between Crimea and the Donbass.
Ambassador Taylor, I know you just returned from a meeting with top Ukrainian officials in Kyiv, the capital. What are you hearing from them about their readiness for this offensive, this counteroffensive?
Wolf, they are ready. We talked to the Minister of Defense, as well as the Minister of Foreign Affairs, as well as soldiers, both privates that are going back out to the front, lieutenants as well as generals. They are ready. They are, as you just reported, they are so pleased at the weapons that they've gotten, their ability to shoot down these missiles, but also all the armor that they've gotten in order to go after this big counteroffensive.
You know, Colonel Leighton, you just heard in Fred Pleitgen's report from Kyiv about the success that Ukraine's air defenses have had against these incoming Russian rockets and missiles. But as the Netherlands apparently is now dragging its feet on officially sending its F-16 fighter jets to Ukraine, how strong is Ukraine's offensive capability in the air?
Well, it's certainly without the F-16, of course, it's weaker than it would otherwise be. But the Ukrainians weren't going to be getting the F-16 before this offensive or even during this offensive. Their offensive capabilities are fairly strong. They have the ability to move with their tanks. They have the ability to move with their armored personnel carriers. And they also have the remnants of their Air Force, which is fairly effective against the Russians. And then, as Fred pointed out, the integrated air defense capabilities that they have are substantial. And that will make a major difference because it will protect the Ukrainian forces as they advance.
Ambassador Taylor, at this point, Ukraine has not claimed responsibility for this latest explosion in Mariupol. But are Ukrainian officials ramping up attacks on Russian-held territory in Ukraine and Russian soil, for that matter, as part of its strategy to prepare for an offensive?
They absolutely are. They absolutely are. They are going after ammo dumps. They're going after headquarters. They are going after communications nodes. They are preparing for this counteroffensive. And that means taking out the ability of the Russians to move and communicate and command their troops.
Ambassador Taylor, thank you very much. Colonel Leighton, thanks to you.